Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the greatest films ever made, The Godfather Part II. It's not just a sequel, it's a cinematic landmark that won the Oscar for Best Picture, a feat its legendary predecessor also achieved. But even masterpieces have their secrets, their hidden flaws, and their incredible behind-the-scenes stories. So grab your cannoli, because we're about to uncover the details you might have missed in Francis Ford Coppola's epic. We'll explore everything from continuity errors and deleted scenes to fascinating trivia that will give you a whole new appreciation for this iconic film. Let's start with some details that even the most eagle-eyed fans might have missed. Remember the scene at Hyman Roth's birthday party in Havana? Roth is cutting a cake that famously represents Cuba, and he's wearing a distinctive patterned shirt. Pay close attention, though. In some shots, the pattern on his shirt is clearly visible, but in others, it mysteriously disappears, replaced by a plain, light-colored shirt. Then, just as quickly, the pattern returns. It is a classic continuity goof that slipped past the editors but is glaring once you see it. It's a small mistake in an otherwise meticulously crafted film, but it's a fun little error to spot on your next rewatch. Now, let's talk about a detail that left many viewers scratching their heads for years: the strange slashes on Don Fanucci's neck. Right before Vito Corleone follows him through the festival, we see Fanucci with two fresh cuts on his neck. The film never explains how he got them, making it seem like a random, confusing detail. However, the answer lies in a deleted scene. Originally, the film included a sequence where Fanucci is ambushed and attacked by some local thugs who slash his throat. Although he survives, the attack shows he's not as invincible as he seems, which emboldens Vito to make his move. The scene was cut for pacing, but its absence created a minor mystery that only the most dedicated fans and those who've seen the deleted footage would understand. The Godfather saga is known for its intricate timeline, but even it has a few inconsistencies between films. In the first movie, the newspaper headlines clearly state that Michael Corleone's assassination of Sollozzo and Captain McCluskey took place in 1945. However, in Part 2, when Senator Geary is reading from his notes during the Senate hearing, he says the murders happened in 1947. It's a 2-year discrepancy that changes the timeline of Michael's descent into the family business. Another similar inconsistency involves Michael's military service. In the original film, it's mentioned that he was a war hero who received the Navy Cross for his bravery in World War II. But again, during that same Senate hearing in Part 2, Senator Geary states that Michael was awarded the Silver Star. While both are prestigious honors, it's a curious change that alters the specifics of Michael's backstory. Let's move on to some incredible stories from behind the camera. One of the most powerful scenes in the entire film is the final flashback to Vito's birthday in 1941. We see Sonny, Fredo, Tom, and Connie all waiting for their father to come home, but Michael is absent, having just announced he's joined the Marines. The scene poignantly ends with Michael sitting alone at the table after everyone else has left. But this wasn't the original plan. Coppola wanted Marlon Brando to make a cameo as Vito for the celebration. However, Brando, feeling disrespected by Paramount Studios from his experience on the first film, refused to show up on the day of shooting. Forced to rewrite the scene on the spot, Coppola created this haunting moment that arguably became even more powerful. It brilliantly contrasts the family's past unity with Michael's present isolation, a testament to how creative genius can emerge from unexpected problems. Here's another fascinating production tidbit that highlights the commitment to historical accuracy. The scenes depicting young Vito Corleone's rise in 1910s and 20s New York are praised for their authentic feel. However, during the initial shoot, there was a major wardrobe problem. Several actors, including Robert De Niro, were wearing trousers with zippers. The issue? The modern zipper wasn't widely used in men's trousers until the late 1930s. At the time the scenes were set, button flies were the standard. Once this anachronism was discovered, Coppola, ever the perfectionist, had to reshoot those scenes with period-accurate button-fly trousers. It was a costly and time-consuming fix, but it demonstrates the incredible attention to detail that makes the world of The Godfather feel so real and immersive. It might be hard to believe, But Francis Ford Coppola initially didn't want to direct The Godfather Part II at all. He felt that the first film was a complete story, and was exhausted from the battles he fought with the studio to get it made. He was ready to move on. When Paramount insisted on a sequel, Coppola tried to pass the directing torch to another promising young filmmaker, Martin Scorsese. Can you imagine a Scorsese-directed Godfather Part II? It would have been a very different film, to be sure, but Paramount flatly refused. They wanted Coppola, and only Coppola. He eventually agreed, but only on the condition that he could tell a parallel story about Vito's past, giving him the creative freedom he craved, and ultimately leading to the film's groundbreaking dual narrative structure. One of the most compelling characters in Part 2 is the aging Jewish mobster Hyman Roth, played brilliantly by the legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg. The character was famously based on the real-life mobster Meyer Lansky, the financial wizard of the underworld. After the film was released, Lansky, who was living out his final years in Miami, actually saw the movie. What was his reaction? He was reportedly so intrigued by the portrayal that he placed a phone call to Lee Strasberg himself. According to Strasberg, Lansky's main comment wasn't about the accuracy of the events, but rather a complaint. He apparently said, "You could have made me more sympathetic. It's an incredible, almost surreal story where life imitates art, and then life calls art on the phone to offer some notes." So, from shifting shirt patterns and forgotten plot points to last-minute rewrites and phone calls from real-life mobsters, The Godfather Part II is as layered and complex behind the scenes as it is on screen. These overlooked details and fascinating stories don't detract from the film's greatness. They enhance it. They show us that even a nearly perfect film is a product of human effort, creative problem-solving, and a little bit of happy accident. They add new layers of appreciation for the artistry, the dedication, and the sheer ambition that went into creating this enduring masterpiece. The next time you watch it, keep an eye out for these secrets. They're a reminder that there is always more to discover in the world of the Corleones. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into The Godfather Part II. What are some of your favorite details or stories from the film? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another exploration into cinematic history. We'll see you in the next one.